Okay, so let's take a look at some of the biggest limiting money beliefs that are stopping people all around the world right now, and maybe even you, from really achieving and living your richest life. Now, it's not just enough to look at what we're doing, we have to look at what we're thinking. And because if the inside is not on par with the life they want to live, then it won't lead to the actions that are necessary in order to manifest and in order to create that life. Now, first up is this. Money is hard to make. Now, I definitely used to think that belief, the idea of having to go and really work for your money, this hustle culture even, really having to grind and work it out for your money. You and I logically know that the hardest worker is not necessarily the richest person, because there's a lot of people working crazy hours, working in factories, working night shifts, working all around the clock, and their bank account is not reflective of that amount of work. And yet there are people who are working very few hours, who are multi-millionaires, if not even more. So work alone, logically, we know that is not the answer to success. That is not the equivalent of having your richest life. What does this limiting belief do? Well, if you believe you have to work really hard for money, you are never going to spot the opportunities where money is easy to make. Now, when I start talking to people about investing, for example, so often I hear the same thing again and again, which is, it sounds too good to be true. Like literally, if I'm saying to you, hey, that money that you've actually worked really hard for, why not just leave it sit in a bank? So instead of just leaving it sit in a bank account where it's wasting away, where it is losing value year on year because of inflation, how about we put it into a different kind of account where that money will then actually work for you? Sounds pretty good, right? And yet so many people still have resistance to doing it because they've been brought up with this mentality that you have to work hard for money. And if it feels too easy, if it feels too good to be true, then it mustn't be. And so this idea that you have to work really hard for money can stop you from spotting places in your life right now that exist for you to make money with a lot more ease. Now, let me just differentiate. This is very different from those creepy get rich quick schemes that someone's telling you they can 10x your money overnight. Be very cautious of those. Right? Even with investing, it requires a certain level of patience, dedication, and persistence to the process, right? It's not promising you an overnight success, but it definitely guarantees that you can make more money a lot easier than going out and doing whatever you're doing right now. Now, the second big culprit that I see is rich people are really greedy. This was definitely one I grew up with. I can remember the words of my father so distinctly, that all really rich people are just crooks, right? He especially detested the bankers and the people in the financial industry, which of course just led me down that path perfectly to become one of those people to work within the financial industry, but one of the good ones. So this idea that rich people are really greedy, well, what do you think holding on to that belief would do for you? So if you believe that people who are really rich are really greedy, being really greedy is a bad thing, then even if consciously you're like, yes, I want more money. Yes, I want more financial freedom. And I want the freedom, the personal freedom that more money brings me, and I can have more time with my family and do things I love. If you still believe that being really rich and wanting a lot of money is greedy, subconsciously, you are going to block yourself from ever actually doing it because you don't want to be one of those people who is greedy. And so an amazing opportunity could come up and present itself to you to make a ton of money, but your mind will find some reason that no, it doesn't feel right. But it's not that it doesn't feel right, it's because you have a belief that is in discord with the opportunity. If the opportunity will make you really rich and your belief is that being really rich is greedy, then you're not going to do it. Or you won't even spot opportunities, or you will self-sabotage them. And I gave this reference before in previous videos. It's like the person who gets the opportunity to get the amazing promotion in their work. And they turn up and all of a sudden they absolutely ruin the interview, or they start turning up to work late, their projects aren't in on time, they start to ruin their sales track record, whatever it is. They start self-sabotaging themselves because they don't align with the identity of being really rich. So really key to be aware of that belief. Now, this next belief is what the Witch of Wall Street was made to overcome, and that is, I'm just not good with money. If a person was to believe, I'm just not good with money, again, think, what kind of person, what kind of life would they have? What kind of actions would they be taking? Well, we both know that they certainly wouldn't be someone who was taking authority or any kind of sovereignty over their money, no control over their money. They're probably going to spend really recklessly and really aimlessly, being like, I'm just not good with money. Maybe they're in debt. Maybe they have no savings, no investments. Maybe they're just not in control of what is happening. Maybe they're always just getting by. Why? Because they see themselves as someone who's just not good with money. So check in with yourself. Are you resonating with any of these beliefs? Whether it's you've got to work really hard for money, whether it's rich people are really greedy, or whether it's this latest belief, which is I'm just not good with money. So check in, and if you're relating with any of these, let me know in the comments. I'd actually really love to hear from you so I can support you as well in overcoming these beliefs. And if there's something else coming up for you, I've heard all of the beliefs you can even think of in the world right now, from so many people I've worked with across different cultures and backgrounds, ethnicities, religions, geographies, all over the world. So let me know if something additional is coming up for you. But again, if you're not taking control of your money because of the belief that you're just not good with it, then money will always control you. And that is exactly what the Witch of Wall Street is here to change, right? It's to put the power back in your hands, to not only give you the strategic resources of getting in control of your money, investing your money so it works for you, but also doing what we're talking about here, the deeper inner work. So you shift your whole perspective and your views around money. Because as you can see, if it's not right up here, if you have some messed up, screwed up money beliefs, doesn't matter how much strategy I share with you, you're just never going to take action. And even if you do, it won't be consistent. It won't be long lasting. Now, for anyone who might be still a little bit skeptical as to, is it really that important to do money mindset work? Look, I've come across all the skeptics. I've spent over 10 years working within corporate finance, worked in the financial industry, in the last 5 in my own business at the Witch of Wall Street. So I've heard it all, right? I've heard all the comebacks. But this is the truth. This is how your subconscious mind works, right? Your subconscious mind, the part of your mind that really is in control for at least 95% of your success. Your subconscious mind is always trying to prove you right. So if you have the belief, I'm just not good with money, you know what your subconscious mind will do? It will show you evidence that, hey, yeah, you're not good with money. And it's going to show you all the evidence. If you believe you have to work really hard for money, you know what? Your subconscious mind is going to attract opportunities and situations and people into your life where making money is going to be really hard. So be aware of what is going on in your subconscious mind, because truly it's like tuning in to a radio station. And if your subconscious mind has some very limited beliefs and you're tuning yourself into poverty or lack and limitation FM, there is no way you are ever going to hear what is on the radio station of wealthy FM, right? You can just not hear it because you're not tuned into it. So you will not see the same opportunities. You will not see the same world around you. It will literally feel like you're living in a different world to the person tuned into wealthy FM compared to the person tuned in to scarcity FM. But you get to choose. And so I'm going to share with you exactly how do you then go about changing those beliefs once you've identified them and once you realize this is actually something really key for me to address and to change. Okay, so when it comes to changing your beliefs, first step is identify the belief. All right, what actually is it? Now, I've given you some examples here. What is it for you though? Maybe you resonate with these, maybe you don't. Really dig deep. What is it that I truly believe about money? Now, even if you're struggling with coming up what that answer might be, here's a great tip. Write down whatever your financial goal is, right? Is it to make X amount this year? Is it to grow your investment portfolio? Is it to build a certain level of wealth or achieve a certain financial freedom number or retire early, whatever it is? Write down what your financial goal is and be specific. Write a number down, all right? Now, you can come back and change it, so don't hesitate. Just write the number down. Now, ask yourself, why do I believe this isn't possible for me? Why do I believe this isn't possible for me? Now, whatever is coming up as your first answer, second answer, take the third one. The third one is usually the real answer. That is going to show you what you truly believe around money and around your ability to attract more money, achieve your financial goals. So we're going to use that belief, if you hadn't come up with one previously, to actually work through. And then question yourself, when did you first begin to believe that belief? Like, when did that first come into your awareness? Like, when did that come up? So for example, if it was, as our earlier example, you have to work really hard for money. Well, when did I first start to believe that? Well, maybe it was when I saw my father always working crazy hours, always working really late at night. And, and hearing the things of like, money doesn't grow on trees. You got to work hard to make it. Maybe that was when I started to hear it. Now, is it true? Is it true? Be honest with yourself. Is that true? Now, it might be a reality for some people, but is it the truth? Is it the universal truth for every single person in the world? That's what we mean by truth. Is it the truth? So really, really challenge yourself. Is it the truth? And I can absolutely guarantee, without even meeting you right now, that it isn't. Right? It isn't true. Because if it's the truth, it has to be true for everyone. And so it's not. It might be true for some people because that's their belief and their subconscious mind is showing them that. But it's not the truth. So challenge yourself on this. Is this the truth? So now that you've identified that it's not, it's actually a whole load of BS. Ask yourself, well, what do I want to believe around money? What would be a nicer reality for me to live in? What kind of belief would I rather live with, going through my whole journey of life with? Is it, yeah, money's really hard to make? Or is it actually, you know what? Money is really easy to make for me. And maybe that one might not stick straight away. And it's like, I have too much resistance to that. So maybe it's, money can be really easy to make when I find the right strategy. So that can help ease that resistance coming up of, you know what, I believe that money can be really easy to make. Maybe I just haven't found the right strategy yet in order to apply to my career, my business, whatever I'm doing, in order to allow that to flow into my life. So come up with a new belief that will just support you, if at the very minimum, to live a nicer reality. And remember, your subconscious mind is always looking for ways to prove to you the truth of your belief. So pick one that's going to be good, because your subconscious mind is going to attach to it and going to go out there and show you evidence of it. Now, don't just rely on your subconscious mind to go and provide you evidence. Get active and go do it yourself too. So for example, if you have a belief that rich people are really greedy, and you want the new belief to be, no, money just amplifies who you are. You know, there are greedy people who are really rich. There are greedy people who are really broke. There are really philanthropic giving people who are really rich, and there are really philanthropic giving people who are really broke. Money is just an amplifier of who we are. The more we have, the more money that we have, the more we're able to just be ourselves and give out into the world. And that's either in a big way or a little way. So find evidence of the belief. So for example, if my belief was, you know, actually rich people are really giving, and to be rich means I can do more good in the world, then I'm going to go online and I'm going to look for examples of, well, specifically women, because that's what I am. But look for, maybe it's whatever in your country, someone that you can relate to. Look for examples of even people like yourself who are really, really wealthy, who are really rich, and they're doing good things in the world. Find those examples to prove to yourself that that old belief isn't true and that your new belief is. Now, we are really just scratching the surface here when it comes to rewiring your money beliefs, right? So before you go, make sure you check out this next video here where we delve deeper specifically into rewiring your money beliefs. It is so powerful. I promise you it's going to be worth your time to really, really shift that whole narrative, whatever the limiting money beliefs that you're holding onto. So I will see you over there now.